I said it once and I'll say it again, but heal by all means necessary. I promise you that your future self will thank you for it, for taking the time to do the work and to make sure that you're just better. Hello and welcome to When Are You Free? I am your host, Aaliyah Joyce, and I am so happy to be here with you today. I have my coffee and I also have my coffee candle. It's a little double chocolate espresso, and it's honestly the cutest little thing. It's like, it has this little top that makes it look like it's a to-go cup, and it's adorable, and you can get it at TJ Maxx last year. And I love it. So I was like, it's so the vibes today to light a candle. Anyways, ladies, today's episode is for the Hot Mess Express girls. And I say that not as an insult, but as a comrade, a fellow fallen comrade. I swear I used to be the type of girl that honestly felt like I could not get a grip and get it together for the life of me. I felt internally chaotic, and it manifested itself in my habits and the way that I dressed and the way that I looked, the way that I spoke. And there just came a point in my life where I just simply could not take it anymore. And I had to button it up. And I'm not saying that I'm perfect and that I always just 100% have it together. Anybody who knows me knows that if I said that, it would be a lie. But I have buttoned it up, like, a button or two. I've, cleaned myself up a little bit from how I used to be. And I just want to impart a few tricks of the trade and just things that I have learned to help me button it up and to grow up a little bit and mature. I just feel like there are these basic things that we all know that we should be doing, but I'm telling you, it will make the biggest difference in your life. And then all of a sudden people will be telling you, oh my gosh, your life is like just always so together. You're always just so put together. How do you do it? And I'm like, because people have been saying that to me, you guys, in the past couple of years. They've been telling me that. And I've been like, little old me having it together? What? And so I don't know. I've just leveled up a little bit. And I wanted to share with the group, because I grew up in the era a millennial. I'm on the millennial Gen Z cusp, right? And I grew up in that era where I feel like at least millennials, they were very much like Girlboss, Gaslight, Gatekeep energy, TikTok wasn't a thing back then. And so it'd be all about the big YouTubers, and they would all have day in the life vlogs, and they would be so organized and healthy and beautiful and successful and all of the things, right? And you wanted to be just like these girls, following their daily routines, all of that other kind of stuff. And it would be such a big motivator for you. I have found in these past couple of years that I am becoming more and more like these women myself. And not to toot my own horn, but I'm like, oh my gosh, my life does look kind of similar. My daily routine and habits look very similar to the women that I grew up watching and wanted to be like. And part of the reason that I am even able to do this is because I'm so big on tracking my habits and what I do every single day. And that's why I created the You Are the Dream Girl tracker. It is been such a pivotal game changer in my life and journey of self-improvement. I genuinely am able to see my progress every single day because of a little silly spreadsheet. So if you are interested in purchasing a Dream Girl tracker, that will be in the link in my description, sold on my Etsy shop and in my website. A short plug, but back to the show. So today I will be sharing a few of the small things that make the biggest difference in getting your life together. The first is you need to recognize and accept the importance of appearance. I know, and I'm a big proponent of this. I think it's so much more important about who you are on the inside than the outside appearance. I'll be the first to say that. But I also understand that appearance, like in the society that we do live in, appearance does matter. It is a huge factor in your life, and the sooner that you accept that, the better. I think for so many years I really didn't take my appearance super seriously, because I use like, oh, like who I am on the inside, my personality is like what's most important, and it is. But at first glance, whether people are looking at you of like, oh, do I want to be friends with this person, do I want to date this person, do I want to hire this person, you want to look pleasing to the eye. You want to look like someone that people want to be around. And so that involves just a couple of things. I, again, used to be the type of girl where I feel like I didn't take my wardrobe super seriously. I would sometimes just roll out of bed and maybe brush my hair a little bit and then just like be out the door. And that's 100% fine. If that's like your own prerogative and that's how you love to live your life, girl, 100% get after it. Like totally love, whatever it is that you want to do and your own comfort level. But I will just say for myself, like my mindset and also how people perceive me like has changed so dramatically since I started to put more effort and to take my appearance seriously. I did not come up with this little rule myself. Some girl on TikTok and probably some other woman before that came up with it, but they talk about the rule of 3, like your hair, your makeup, and your outfit. So those are the 3 elements. Like people perceive those very easily just by glancing and walking past you. They can perceive those things like without even having to register it super deeply. And so you need to make sure that at least 2 of those 3 things are on point. Put effort into those things. And I'm not even saying crazy, tremendous effort, but it needs to look like you did at least 2 of those things with some intentionality. Part of why we sometimes like don't put effort into our appearance is that it seems like something that's very daunting and is going to take up a ton of time. But in this new age, I'm telling you, there's hacks for everything. There's resources for everything. Like you can do it. Okay. So for the hair wise, there are so many options that you can do that will save you time. You can, if you need your hair to be curled, like do heatless curls at night. I do this all the time. Like I will, put in heatless curls into my hair. Wear wigs, girl. There's no shame in the game. Wear wigs, plop that on, put a headband wig on, go about your life, get a sew-in, get braids, get extensions, do whatever it is that's going to make you feel like at a very easy level. Have a go-to hairstyle that is going to be easy for me to do every day and to maintain on a regular basis on my own. Like get really good at it. I know a lot of girls have gone on their natural hair journey, got so good at twist outs that they're able to do them very simply, put on a headscarf, whatever it is, and it just makes it so much easier for them in the mornings to where they can get up, don't have to spend a lot of time, maybe 10-15 minutes, and then their hair is good. It lasts all day and it looks fantastic. That's just something that you need, something super low maintenance, but it's like, oh, like I feel good about my hair. And I want you to know that hair depression is real. When it's been a long time and you haven't gone for a trim, or, you have been wearing your braids for a really long time, or I'm famous for wearing a wig until the wheels fall off. Okay. And I'm telling you, like, try to refresh those things, as often as needed. Me and my mom have talked about this, and different women, we've talked about this, where it's like, oh, if my hair's not done, I just feel so ugly. And don't walk around feeling ugly, girl. Spend a little bit of the extra money. Like I almost feel like it's a necessity for me now. Like I have to just spend money on it because my confidence will just be so much better if it's done. The outfits. Okay, so this is something that a lot of people struggle with as well. And I think that it starts with just having some really fantastic basics. You don't even have to do much. Like just, maybe stop wearing, like shirts with holes in them or with like visible stains on them, where it's just like, oh, I did put some intentionality on it. Put on like a nice, like maybe more fitted t-shirt and some jeans and some shoes. Accessorize a little bit. Like I'm telling you, a hoop earring will save your life automatically. Like you put them on and it just looks like you have more of your life together if you just accessorize a little bit. Doesn't take much. And again, just sticking to basic outfits. You don't even have to put a lot of effort in. If you will just go and find, I know for me, I love dresses and skirts, especially to work. Find you a couple of dresses, a couple of skirts, and those are so easy because you just throw it on. There's no other thought with them. Or if you are a girl, I love, like a girl that loves a matching set. I know I do myself. I don't even own a lot, but I love it on other people. And that's so easy. You just find one set, that same color, whatever, get 3 of the same one, and you have so much variety and you just look curated. And if you want to, you can go the extra mile. I know for me, how I always love to pick out my outfits or new vibes for myself is I just love Pinterest through and through. And that's how I get so much fashion inspiration of what I want my aesthetic to be. And I like to trade in and out of like what type of girl I like to be for the day. But I know for me, like I just love looking on there and then trying to make my outfits have similar vibes or silhouettes or whatever it is that I'm going for. And I just find that so helpful when I'm trying to figure out what I like versus what I don't. This is a little caveat, just like the importance of accessories. I love accessories so much, and I feel like they have elevated my fashion game by so much. I love to have on a watch, bracelets or rings, earrings, a necklace, whatever it is, like all of those things, those tiny little things. And again, it takes you like maybe 2 minutes to put those on in the morning, but it automatically takes you up like 10 different notches when it comes to your appearance. Love accessories, and they're just fun. They're fun to buy, find, new little pieces, and you could just have these I have staple pieces that I just wear pretty much all the time, and you just have to find like what works for you, what you like, and have your little daily jewelry. That helps so much. Makeup, again, like that can be a range of things, because some people genuinely don't like makeup, and I think that's 100% fine. Just make sure that your face is clean, moisturized, and protected from the sun. Literally. And people tell me all the time, they're like, oh my God, Aaliyah, you have such amazing skin. First of all, thank you. Second of all, it's not hard. Like, at least like in my perspective, I feel like some people have 12-step skincare routines, and I just personally feel like all of that is not the most necessary. I genuinely believe that you need a good cleanser, a good moisturizer, a toner if you will, and then a sunscreen. Wear sunscreen every single day. I swear by that. I've always had like pretty good skin, but what made my skin go to the next level is wearing sunscreen daily. And I don't care if it's the winter, it doesn't matter. You need to put that on. It's so important to protect your skin. And then you don't even really need a lot of makeup. So again, makeup doesn't have to be like, if you don't want to put on anything else, protect your skin. But if you want to put on, like, I think it's always so important to have like a little everyday makeup look. Some girls go full glam every single day, and that's 100% slay the house down queen. Wish I could be you, can't do it. I like maybe put on makeup, do it in like 5 minutes, my everyday go-to look. And it's just super simple. Like, put on a little concealer, put on a little blush if you want, a little lippy moment. I'm not sure if I would do anything else. Some mascara if you're feeling it that day, but that's it. And it's like takes like 5 minutes. It's so easy. You can do whatever it is that works for you. Everybody's face is different and preferences are different, but just have a very quick, something that you can, again, all of these things, the hair, the outfit, the makeup, make sure it's just something that you can just pull and do and don't have to think about it. And I think that that's what helps you to put effort into your appearance without it being something that's super draining to you. The second in getting your life together and like looking more put together and all of those things is to cut off all of the negatives in your environment. And I mean this physically, and I also mean this mentally. So physically, your environment is so important. It's crazy how much your environment affects your mood and your mindset. It's actually insane. So again, I am a former hot mess express girl, but I'm so serious, girl. Clean your room, make your bed, I'm so serious. Like, you have to gentle parent yourself and say, actually, I'm not going to take this for one more second. You can't continue to like live in a dirty room, a dirty apartment or house, or constantly keep your car disgusting. Like, you got to cut those things out. Now, I say this all with grace. We all get very busy and sometimes have times where things get out of hand. But if your out of hand is the majority of the time, like, you got to address it and say something has got to be done with my daily habits. I know for me, I think I've been doing this for a while now, but I make my bed every single day, just about. Sometimes I'll be rushed and I won't do it, but majority of my days, I make my bed every single day before I leave for work or before I leave to go hang out with people. Whatever it is I'm doing that day, I will make my bed before I leave. And it takes, honestly, no time. Like, you feel like it's going to take a ton of time. It takes no time at all. And it just helps you feel like, oh, I've done something really productive today. And it just shows that you care about your environment, because when you come back after a long day and then you go back in and your bed's like kind of messy, it just doesn't feel as nice as coming home to a made bed. You know, you just feel more in control and more relaxed. Like, it just helps so much with your mindset. Like, when you walk into it, it's important to keep your environment clean. Keep your bathroom, keep your living room, your kitchen, like, keep those things like clean, and to stay on a regular schedule with like upkeep and maintenance. Like, you're trying to keep up with maintenance, like, of yourself and your body care and your self-care. Your environment is also equally important, especially if you're a person that like lives alone, or maybe you and your roommate are just like really messy or whatever. Like, it can become really easy to be like, oh, why would I make my bed if I'm going to get back in it, or this is just going to get right back dirty. I need you to change that mindset, because I think about it like this. I think about when you have guests over, and or if you think about like growing up, your mom is like, oh, like, we're having guests over and she's over here scrubbing the floorboards, scrubbing the baseboards and stuff, and cleaning the guest room that nobody stays in. And you're like, oh my gosh, why is she being so extra with these people coming over? And it's because she really respects them and she wants them to feel welcome in that environment. It's just a sign of respect that if you have like company over, that you are going to clean up and have a nice, welcoming environment for them to be in. And what I need you to do, and it's going to help you, I think, to kind of start adopting these habits, is treat cleaning and like maintenance as a sign of respect to yourself. It's like, I respect myself so much that I want to, you know, when I come home, I don't want to come home to a chaotic environment. I want to come home to very like at peace, clean, organized environment. Helps so much with the shift, and it doesn't even feel like something that you have to do, like, oh, I gotta wash the dishes, oh, I gotta do this. It's like, no, I respect myself a lot, so I am going to make the time to do this because it's important to treat myself well. If you want, take that a step further and make sure that you not only keep your place clean, but you decorate it. Like, you light a nice candle, have some ambiance, have a little lamp, you know, some cute little knickknacks that you pick up at Home Goods, at TJ Maxx. It doesn't have to cost a lot of money. You can buy, you know, a cute little plant, $5 at your local Walmart, you know, just something that makes it cozy for you. And you're going to find that it elevates your mood, and that it makes you feel better, and that you look forward to like being in your environment, and that you'll be more productive. Like, a lot of like great benefits just come from having like from your surroundings. So I can't stress that enough. That's physical, your physical space affecting your mental. Another thing that kind of affects your mental, we're also going to cut out the negative people in our lives. Now, I don't mean that you have to like cut out like every single negative person that you know, but we do have people in our lives where it's like your friend who's always just like so pessimistic, or like always has a bad attitude, or every time that you turn around, like they just always are like in a crisis. And again, like, I don't think that you should just cut people off like all the time, but I think that sometimes you have to spend less time with people that are always inviting negative energy into like your life. You have to cut that out and try to surround yourself with people that are more positive, encourage good habits in you, and also just have good energy. Like, every time that you're around them, you feel recharged and refueled instead of depleted. Stick with those people and lessen the time that you spend with those other people. In that same vein, Again, this is in real life, but it's also on socials. The amount of people that I have muted or unfollowed and got off of my socials because they have made me feel bad about myself, inferior, or maybe it's just a person that I really don't really get along well with you in real life, and I don't actually want to see what you're up to. People don't reserve the right to take up space in your mind if you don't want them to. So if somebody is constantly making you upset, feel bad, feel inferior, cut it out. Like, girl, you don't have to engage with them. You don't have to see their lives to always watch their posts and stories, or like be forced. Like, you don't have to do that. I'm big on a mute button. Big on a mute button, because when I'm on socials, I want to follow and see people that I like and that make me feel good about myself. So big on clearing out the negatives. The last thing that I will say, again, we talked about our physical appearance. We talked about our environment. The last thing that I will say that will kind of help you button up and get your life more together is to prioritize your physical and mental health. It is of the utmost importance. I think for the longest time, I did not care about my body. I just was not taught sometimes the best habits growing up. Like, I wasn't as educated on like how vital it was to care about like exercise and to care about diet. But as you get older, you will find like it's so crazy important, and how your physical body actually affects your mental. So again, I don't want you to feel like, oh, now I have to join a gym and be in exercise classes like 12 times a week and like do all of these things. Like, I don't want you to feel like it has to be this huge thing. Again, we're starting small. But when I first started to kind of take my health more seriously, all I did was like, oh, I'm going to go walk for like a mile. I just around the neighborhood, or just like the local walking trail. It was honestly nothing crazy. Like, didn't even take me that long. And I kept doing, I was like, oh, well, I'll be out here for a little bit longer. Then I'll be out here, instead of being out here for 30 minutes, I'll be out here for an hour, and I just started doing that, just going on walks outside. And it helped me so much. I started to feel better and have more energy. And my mental health also kind of like skyrocketed, because I would have all of this time to just think and process things and to consider stuff. It helped my mental health so much just by going on walks. And we can all do something small like that. And I think the second thing, again, you don't even have to commit to saying like, oh, I'm going to do like a certain diet. Like, I'm going to be keto, I'm going to be carnivore. You don't have to start that way. You can just say, I'm going to start to be more aware of what I'm putting into my body. And I think just starting the process of being aware is a fantastic first step, where you just think about like, oh, how much sodium is actually in what I'm consuming? How many calories? How much fiber? How much protein does this have in here? Just like reading labels. I'm telling you, reading labels and being familiar with how much your body is actually supposed to have of sodium, and like what like is normal for the amount of calories for you to have in a day, and how much fiber you're supposed to have. Just like knowing like these basic things like protein. And don't overwhelm yourself. That's just like 4 things that I just listed that are like really important when you're thinking about what you consume. And then you can look on back and be like, oh, this actually has half the amount of sodium I'm supposed to have in a day in one serving. Like, that's really bad. Like, maybe I shouldn't be eating that. Maybe I need to cut down on eating that. Or just thinking about those types of things. And then also thinking about like, oh, look at this will tell on you really fast, is look at your debit card or your credit card receipts or like billing statements, and just start searching McDonald's. Start searching Subway. Who eats Subway? Why would I even say that? Like Chick-fil-A, the Chipotle, and just start looking at how many times you're eating out versus how many times you're going to Trader Joe's, Whole Foods, and just all of that other kind of stuff. Like, you need to be looking at how many times that you're eating out. And I know when I did that, at a certain point in time, it was just so shocking to me, because it doesn't feel like it, but I was eating out multiple times a week. And then I'd wonder like why I felt like really bad and why I had no energy. And it's because I was eating a lot of bad food and I just wasn't aware of it. Like, I would just do it without thinking. But Now I'm super conscious of it, and I don't really eat out much, if at all. Like, it's just not something that I do on a regular basis anymore. I used to multiple times a week, but now it's just like very seldom, and I mostly cook meals at home. And it makes you feel so much better because you're just aware of the ingredients that you're putting in your body, and you're like, oh, like I feel better eating things that I make myself. Nothing crazy. I'm not asking you to start a diet or start counting your calories or anything like that. I think that puts too much pressure if you're starting from the Hot Mess Express, which I totally was. I'm just saying, like, I think the first step is just being aware, and then you can work your way from there and see what works for you and what doesn't. And I feel like that for me, that has helped me to make a more sustainable change in my health, because it doesn't feel like this crazy jarring thing. It just feels natural, like a natural, like progressive step of becoming more and more healthy as time goes on. And you'll find that once you start taking care of your body, that your mental health improves significantly. And again, this is not to downplay the importance of taking care of your mental health in other ways. In fact, we're about to talk about that right now. And I cannot impress how important it is that you stop putting off therapy. I know for me, I put off therapy for so many years because you know how sometimes you'll be like, oh, like, I'm actually fine though, ha ha ha, and you'll just push it off. Like, you'll have a depressive state or a bunch of anxiety attacks, or just like you'll have like a downturn, but you'll bounce back and you'll be like, oh, well, I'm fine, I don't really need to go. You really do. Like, you really do. I think that if you've never even been once in your life, and people suggest it all the time, and it's like, people are not saying that for no reason. I think it's important that you go and find someone who actually helps you. I know some people, they go to therapy and it's like, it doesn't really work for them. Maybe they had a bad experience with a therapist. And I just encourage you to go back and find someone that you're compatible with, that actually hears you, that gives you actionable steps. Like, when you leave the session, like, you need to feel like, oh, well, this is what I'm going to do before my next session. Like, you need to have real goals when it comes to your therapy. So make sure that that person is trying to help you achieve your goals mentally, just like how you would go to a personal trainer and they would, you would go to them, you would tell them, this is where I want to get at physically, and they would do those exercises with you. They would give you, maybe like a meal plan, a workout plan, and you work towards those goals together. In the same way, I think a mental health therapist should also be doing those same things. So if you're not having that experience, I would suggest finding another one, so that way you can have someone to help you get to those mental health goals that you want to achieve. And I say all of this to say, I know that, like, in an age, like, everybody is like self-diagnosing themselves with all of these mental health disorders and thinks that it's like a cute, quirky part of their personality. But if you're a person who has actually dealt with those things, you know that depression, anxiety, OCD, body dysmorphia, repressed trauma, and just a host of all of those other things, they're not jokes. Like, if you've really dealt with them on a regular basis and they affect your life, like your ability to actually function as a human being, like that it's not funny, and that it actually can have so many harmful effects on you. And so I say this with like so much love, that I think it's important that you heal yourself at all possible cost. It's not worth it, because it really can take so much out of you. It can affect your daily life in so many negative ways. And I just don't think that there's anything more important than taking care of your mental health. I said it once and I'll say it again, but heal by all means necessary. I promise you that your future self will thank you for it, for taking the time to do the work and to make sure that you're just better. And the last thing that I will share for my Hot Mess Express girls is to just share the journey with other people. And that's why I felt the need to make this episode in general. Is I thought about myself and the girl that I was years and years ago. And I wish that somebody had sat down with me and just had, like, again, nothing that I said is revolutionary. Like, I think that we all know that we need to do these things, but I wanted to put it in a nice little package and bring it to your attention if you just found yourself super out of control and not grounded and really messy and disorganized in all ways of your life recently, I wanted to put it in a nice little package for you to remind you to take care of those small things that affect your life in a big way. So I think that as you go through it, you need to share your journey like with other people. But knowledge is like, it equals wealth and power. Like it helps so much just to know those things and to be reminded of them. Don't be afraid to invite other people on your journey of self-improvement. Like none of us can do these things alone. So it's important to do that like within the context of community. I think that I've said it all for today for my girl boss, Gaslight, Gatekeep girls. And so I hope that something that I said you have found helpful and a way to kind of like help you button it up a little bit today. And if it did, please leave a comment, rate the show. It genuinely helps me so much. And honestly, guys, it just gives me a little boost of confidence, to be honest with you. So if you could please just, let me know if this helped you. But either way, that is all that I have for you for now. I will see you next time on When Are You Free? Bye.